Converse. Examine. Oh god, okay, hey, what is this? Is this a chicken? That's my dinner from last night, a roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Suzuto-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he? What? He deserved to die. He didn't. Dude, chicken is the best protein known to man. Oh, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh, no. Does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly? Truly, there's no justice in the world. It's just too horrible. Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Suzuto-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused, forget to look around properly. Yeah, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in this regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? I'm sure you're careful to look around at all using D-pad, left and right, aren't you? Now, let's investigate all corners of this cabin. Thanks, yeah, let's do it. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Game Boy Advanced. Game Boy Advanced. Boop. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. There's nothing at this table at all. The plate and the cutlery are over the floor for some reason. Yeah, strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still. No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. Chicken makes you sleepy, BB. No, wait, no, turkey is the thing that makes you sleepy. Never mind, I take it back. You're just stupid. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazumi-sama. No, no, no. Bum, 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 bum. Japanese. I don't speak Japanese. Seige? The Japanese word for justice. Apollo Justice. No. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma. Oh, he's straight. Oh, man. There goes the fan fictions. Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why should I be able to? Even though you stowed away on this ship? Now you're gonna bring that up, are you? I can't win. I feel like that's unfair, Suzuto. Hold on. Okay, we're ready. These are the ruler passes for travel across the SS Buria. Buria. It's essentially a list of requests from the captain of all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? Oh, poor Ryunosuke. I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. Dude, Phoenix would have bitten back by that comment. You know, when in the family tree did the Naruhodo family / the Wright family grow a spine, bro? The books have fallen all over the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yeah, it's also the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mown down at once. I wonder if perhaps it was Kazumi-sama's during his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. Could these things have been thrown away have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. No, don't! You can't touch the crime scene! No, wait! No! Susan, wait, this bookshelf don't make any sense. His sword. I don't want to touch the Russian man, because then I'm going to have to think of an actual accent for him. Kazumi-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yes, he was always saying that a Japanese katana is its soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring this on the trip. Hey, can I bring my sword? What is it, like a practice sword? No, it's a real sword. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone, but not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Bum bum bum. We already got all this stuff, right? This lantern, no. What is this? Oh, it's a teacup, or it's a bell. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever the thing is, the piece is broken clean in two. The glass is such a beautiful color. With the U. Oh my god, I hate it. Looks like a cute little Nasuki fastener with from a kimono outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. You won't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? A mark beside it. What is it, I wonder? Some sort of brick like hue. Yeah, you're right. It's the color of brick, isn't it? Though I didn't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Yeah, this is their body. We're checking out everything besides the body. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yeah, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside the case. Ah, yes, I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which in hindsight, should have realized the foreign crewmate wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over again, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as as it sounds? Well, it was less painful than a Suzuto takedown. Oh, I got ink. Oh, I can't look at the ink? That body is going to be the last thing we investigate. Boop. This is where Kazumi-sama must have sat whenever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination. Looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Oh, it looks as though the last entry is incomplete. Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama must have departed this world. We must not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important, something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Poor Kazumi-sama. I don't think prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? We'll do it when she's not here, BB, don't worry. Well, that's in Russian. Okay, that's like the most immediate contradiction I've ever seen in my entire life. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so the rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough or something like that. I suppose. Maybe that's it. Oh, okay. Boop. This is... Yes, it's a bell cord contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in a book when I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households also have bell cords like this, which can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. What are you thinking? Shall we give it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. Perfect. Suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. Out of the wardrobe. It's been 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Sorry about that. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting, making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yeah, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what would happen in here. What was happening in here in the cabin. No, sadly not. Did Kazuma write this before he died? Looks like it's written in ink. Come on, Naruhodo. He doesn't speak Russian. He must have knocked in the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage. Poor Kazumi-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then, what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. Could it be what every other person on this vessel speaks? It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Oh my god, there he is. Who's that? He wasn't there a moment ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You noticed the man too, have you? No idea who he is, how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. He's investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? Playing on it. I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. I'm just imagining it. Or does Suzuto-san almost look uncontrollably excitable? By the way, I expect that you noticed already, but just in case, if you press A on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright, then I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman in my side and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. Alright, sir. What are you doing? Herlock Sholmes. Excuse me? Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh. This is a critical point in my investigation. I don't know how to do a British accent. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings. I hope I haven't kept you long. What exactly were you doing at Kazuma's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? Feels like he's looking right through me. Yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madame. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the Barabond accompanying of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Tell him, Ryunosuke, come on. Just to be clear, you were talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Give him the captain, Kurt. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't see one person who fits the bill. Says it out. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazumi-sama. What? and you're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way Hiya! Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. As for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you did find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Did you not? Well, yeah, maybe. Ha! There you have it. You see, what do you make of that? Well, to be honest, the ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of the murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call it deduction. It's more plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boys, the basis of all deduction. Our method is founded upon the observation of trifles. You see, I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Herlock Sholmes. So, it's really you, the actual Herlock Sholmes. Oh, I'm gonna love this. The very same, the imitatable, actual Herlock Sholmes. They're like, we gotta play it up, boys. You know this man, Susan-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san, of course I do. There's no one who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on, then? You must ask him what he's deduced. We have worked out this entire case, so I'm ready, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Hello? Oh, God. I got my water ready. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I'm none other than the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Herlock? Was it? No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh, yes. Randit's magazine full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. We can't say the name Conan Doyle. I've never missed an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Yes, here it is. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you started to think you really are a detective? Make no mistake, I'm not the poor, deluded fellow you may take me for. Your inference is backwards. Backward? A trusty biographer records my greatest deducting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to the publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Oh, wait, by this very moment, I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? Can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions to his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All these things are data. Right. And the trained logician made deductions from this data as the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn both for observation and deduction, and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Yeah, you go for it, buddy. I know you're the main character. You're the detective of the game. I don't know if you're in 2, but I know you're in 1. I didn't mean to do that. Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet? I have managed to deduce anything, my dear fellow. Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding places? That's right. There's none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. I became anxious about Kazumi-sama this morning. I summoned all of the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their numbers, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective, Herlock Sholmes, was on board. And the handcuffs seemed to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, 2 facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh, really? 2 facts, you say? The 2 facts. Oh, my no. Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please. What 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into the cabin this morning? See? But first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The 2 facts that I detected from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian, killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What makes you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. No, fuck that. This is a Russian word for Roger. I feel like that reads something. I feel like I can almost read that. This is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered garderobe. That's what I was reading. But the name of the killer, certain Robert Garden, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so. I find you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? We're Japanese, sir. Soon to be American. I've observed that you are wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that our outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. This is definitely my ancestor, bro. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea. And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim in the message that I might analyze for possible hidden details. Oh, the music stopped. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yeah, Kazumi has already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yeah, thank you. Photograph of the crime scene entered in the court record. The Russian word for wardrobe in purple ink appears to have been written in the victim's final moments. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? What, pray? You mentioned Russian before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that? Ah, yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think? No, certainly, if it interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian, and I don't speak Russian. Can you tell me about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. The now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in? Actually, that was the other detail that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part? Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The mainline headline reads: Revolutionary villain Borshkovik. Villain? Villain Borshkovik? And that first one is definitely villain. I don't know what the second part means. Flees Russia via Shanghai. This vessel made a port called at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. And when was Kazuma Russian? Sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was a Russian because of what Kazumi-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary, one who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Borshkovik. No. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Please. And, I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds that the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? Didn't it? What is that guy's name? Not Gorbachev, what the heck? That's a Russian guy. What's his name? Che Guevara? Did Che Guevara do an interview? I feel like I've heard about that, maybe. Oh, Che Guevara was kind of like a bad guy, but anyways. And what about the part where he said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also, quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik was certainly returning after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyways? Where is Afghanistan? Yeah, does Afghanistan, please? Did Afghanistan exist back then? Here, take the paper for yourself. It's a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I've seen no rubbish bin nearby. The article about the revolutionary has been added to the court record. Article on the front page of Russian newspaper. The headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. And you may find the article on the back of the page if the interest so well. On the back. Cast your eyes over it sometime if the interest takes you, though it may need someone to interpret. Why, if I'm Russian, then I should know. It's a baby boopy.